I think it is a violent work atmosphere. So we talk in our research, we talk about this aesthetics of suffering, which basically means that to be identified as an elite chef, a Michelin chef, you have to show that you can endure and you have to show that you can suffer. The suffering is seen within the industry as like I say, a kind of a badge of honor that makes them valuable and elite. And it's a very tight niche group. And unfortunately, from a cultural perspective, because that has a lot of value and is very recognized, until that changes, I think it's going to be challenging for this like pattern to stop. Often these Michelin kitchens are in, like I said, in basements or in hidden places, hidden from plain sight. And I do think structurally, when it comes to designing kitchens and restaurants, more could be done. We obviously have open kitchens, but most open kitchens have a larger segment of the kitchen which is hidden. So I just feel like if kitchens were more open and accessible to other patrons, other members of staff, I think that would help. That would contribute towards making it more difficult for perpetrators to get away with abuse. So I'm thinking it going to an extreme. You've got this, panopticon notion of being able to kind of see like spherically all the way around. And I feel like most Michelin kitchens are the polar opposite of that. And therefore we have this sort of dark behavior that goes on. One thought that's special about the timing of Noma is that we are in a climate right now in the world where people are speaking out against abuse, regardless of what shape that abuse takes. And I really hope that now is a moment where more people are going to do so, because it's happening in other spheres, of course, isn't it? It's happening in other industries. People are speaking up. So maybe there is a critical mass of people feeling more safe to speak out. I do really hope that's the case. And I hope that this isn't just, Noma's not just part of a pattern that has basically gone on for decades and decades all around the world. I would love to think that the Noma scandal is going to elicit change, and you never know what chord is going to be struck with what person who is a change maker, who is a disruptor. So I am going to maintain some optimism around the fact that there's going to be change. But having read what I've read in the news about what's happening at Noma, and it really does. I'm a big believer in pattern recognition, and what's happened is unfortunately no different from what we have seen before in in kitchens all around the world, like in UK, in Europe, in America, and Australia. I think what was interesting, particular about the Noma scandal that we hadn't seen in our data is the fact that the perpetrator admitted to it and then admitted to seeking help. So I think that is a positive stride, the admittance and the fact that, hey, I'm actually seeking help over this. I don't think you need the demanding structures to get exquisite food. And we have spoken to chefs who have purposefully tried to step out of these very masculine, intensive, abusive, marginalizing, dehumanizing structures. And they've opened up restaurants and they didn't want a star because they don't want to be associated with those levels of work. And then incidentally, some of them end up getting a star, and then they're almost upset that they get a star because that takes them back into this, kind of prism as well of this, cycle of intense, systematic, high quality, work that is required for the Michelin star. So